All right, so we're going to talk about the marketing system. So what is happening in 2025, how to win this year and beyond. There are a lot of exciting things going on in the marketing space. A lot of chatter, a lot of movement, some real, some not. So we'll get into all that. A little bit about me. I am a PCA ambassador, very active with the Painting Contractors Association, serve on a variety of their committees. I run a podcast called the Painter Marketing Mastermind Podcast. I've been doing that for 3.5 years. I'm the founder and owner of Painter Marketing Pros. We have served quite a few painting companies over the past half decade. I've written 2 books on scaling painting companies, one of which was a #1 Amazon bestseller, so very proud of that. And I'm a proud veteran of the Florida Army National Guard. So Painter Marketing Pros, who we are, we have been in this space for 5 years. We have served over 350 painting companies. We have generated over 250,000 leads for our painting company partners. Our average cost per lead throughout that time was well south of $50 a lead. And we have generated a whopping over $200 million in revenue. I actually booked projects for our painting company partners. So very proud of that. Painter Marketing Pros, we also run a marketing column in APC magazine. So you'll see a lot of stuff come out there from us. There's a new issue, very exciting stuff about 2025 that will be disseminated at the PCA Expo next week. And we just wrote one about direct mail in their November and December issue. A frequent contributor to In Paint Magazine's Ask a Pro section, and something that was really quite the honor. We received the PCA Industry Partner of the Year 2024 award at Expo last year. So that was amazing. I got to receive that award in front of about 1,000 people. Very proud of my team for achieving that. We have partnerships with Academy of Professional Painting Contractors, a corporate marketing partnership with Fresh Coat Painters, partnerships with PCA. Again, we speak at a lot of conferences, are involved in a lot of stuff. We work with a great deal of franchisees over at Fresh Coat. Very happy with what we've been able to help them achieve. So what we're going to talk about today is #1, proven results. Kind of go through some of the stuff that we've done, how it works, why it works. #2, the vision for 2025. So get into crafting your vision for your company, the kinds of things you need to think about and what you need to know in terms of the marketing landscape right now. #3, marketing ecosystem. So how to win, the evolution that's happening. And then 4, kind of the buzz right now, role of AI in marketing. It is not going away. It is not a shiny object, but it has shiny object syndromes right now. So we're going to kind of go into that. All right, proven results. So a little about Painter Marketing Pros here, just a couple of the companies we've worked with. Again, worked with north of 350, so we've been doing this for quite a while. Emerson Paints, so Daniel Stroud. Don't know whether you're on this webinar or not, but he's done a phenomenal job. We partnered with him. He was a somewhat small painting company doing 270,000 in 2023. 2024, we drove him to north of $1 million. And this year we are now targeting 3 million. So that kind of growth is possible when you not only partner with the right marketing partner, but you also lean into the process. There's a lot of things that Daniel's done and his team have done in terms of refining their sales process that have helped them achieve these tremendous results. So throughout 2024, we were able to generate over 300 phone calls for him, 240 web form leads, over 5,000 Google Business Profile impressions. He, with our assistance, but primarily he, was able to secure over 100 Google reviews. That's a large number of reviews in a year. That's awesome. Over 450 Facebook leads, 313 LSA leads, over 1 million, over 1.25 million Facebook and Instagram impressions, and a huge increase in revenue. So all this is to say, you want to attack marketing from a lot of different angles. You can see we have Facebook leads, we have web form leads, we have LSA leads, we have Google Business Profile leads. So you want to be everywhere that people are looking, and you also want to lean into those sales. You can see you don't get 101 Google Business Profile reviews without some intentionality. So Daniel's taking a lot of the right steps. He put a post here that was really great in November. He said, I don't celebrate wins well. So here's my attempt. I can relate to that, Daniel. I also don't celebrate wins well. Second full year in business, we did 270,000 in 2023. July and August of 2024, we did over 100,000 for the first time. September of 2024, we did 177,000. October of 2024, we did 198,000. Could not have done it without Brandon Pierpont with Painter Marketing Pros. They took us from 270K to over $1 million, and we have our eyes set on 3 million in 2025, and they will be a huge partner in helping us reach that goal. Yes, we will. This is not a paid ad. I just cannot recommend PMP enough. They offer the most value I have seen out of a marketing agency, as they do everything from posting on our social media to meta ads and Google ads, SEO, creating our website, and offering amazing customer service. I know I can get them on the phone or email anytime I need them. The results speak for themselves. Huge shout out as well to Jason Phillips, absolutely, with Contractor Freedom for helping us with our sales system, as well as Bradley Ellison for letting me pick his brain, Will Reyes for our phone calls, Big Will, and Carl Utter for sales coaching, and countless others who have allowed me to ask stupid questions. No such thing. So we are also extremely excited to be working with Boolean Review and Automation to help us automate and create freedom in our company. Chris Kiefer, Nathan Tenable, love that. Thank you, Daniel. Another one of our partners. So Sarah Ross Fresh Coat Painters went from 2.4 million in 2023 to 2.8 million. Over 1,100 phone calls, almost 1,000 web form leads, over 10,000 Google Business Profile impressions, 346 Facebook leads, 164 LSA leads, almost 2 million Facebook and Instagram organic impressions, and then increase from 2.4 to 2.8. The whole purpose of all of this is when you look at these numbers, you see these improvements. It's not, hey, we did this one thing, or we ran this one ad channel, or we only focus on this one marketing method. It's about creating a marketing ecosystem, hitting it from all different channels, and then respecting your sales process. So that part is super critical. Using softwares like EstimateRocket to actually have drips and actually have a process for your sale is absolutely critical. So my vision for your success in 2025, we want to help painting contractors build sustainable, scalable businesses, knowing your numbers, knowing your metrics, investing into your sales, investing into your operations and your team, all important. The marketing is the sexy object, so to speak, is generating the new leads. There's a whole lot else that goes into business, as you guys know, and there's a whole lot that goes into repeat and referral projects as well. I think that's neglected. I want to speak some to that. And then leveraging the marketing ecosystem for your growth. So for planning a 10x 2025, doesn't have to be 10x in revenue. Obviously, that would be insane unless you're at extremely low revenue. But 10x in terms of your success and ultimately what you're creating for your business is number one, set your revenue goal. So often I'll speak with painting companies and they come through and we're saying, hey, what'd you do in 2024? Okay, you did this amount. What's your goal in 2025? And it's, well, I want to grow. I want to get bigger. Or maybe they have a number, maybe for 2025. A lot of them don't, which is concerning. And then what's your 5-year goal, right? And then that's often very few companies have a very clearly defined 5-year goal or even a 3-year goal. So make sure you're actually setting goals and targets, because otherwise you don't really have a clear end in mind. So it's hard to navigate there effectively. So number one, set your revenue goal. Number two, set your marketing budget based on your revenue goal, based on how many projects and what level of revenue you expect to generate organically, let's say from repeat and referral, versus what you need to add incrementally. Then you can know how much you need to invest into marketing to get that lead flow. What do you expect your close rate to be? What do you expect your average ticket value, knowing your numbers? And then number three, you have the marketing budget. Now you need to select your marketing platforms and allocate your budget. So where do you want to invest? If you have a significant amount to invest into paid ads, then you can spread it. If you have a smaller amount, you need to be a little bit more calculated and strategic in terms of the platforms you choose. And then number four, tap into past leads and customers to start 2025 off with a bang. So again, the leveraging what's called your list. So people who have come into your ecosystem, submitted maybe a web form or a lead form on Facebook, or maybe they called you and you have their information, or you met them at a home show and they either did business with you or they didn't do business with you. Either way, you have their information. They're a hot prospect in some way, shape, or form, even if it's for referrals. So tapping into 2025, saying, hey, I'm going to get some essentially free projects, essentially free referrals. I'm going to get this to start the year, and it's gonna position me for success. So the marketing ecosystem, it is an ecosystem. It's not one channel. All this stuff works together. When you run marketing the right way, it starts to become hard to actually know where the lead came from. And that sounds like a weird thing, but when you're doing SEO, so you're people searching on Google and they're finding you when they search for a painting company in their area, when you're running paid local service ads on Google, when you're running paid Facebook ads, when you're doing a whole lot of organic stuff on Facebook, when you have wrapped vans driving around, when you have yard signs everywhere, when you're canvassing, when you have door hangers, when you're doing direct mail, people start to see you everywhere. You're doing retargeting. So, I mean, somebody comes to your website, but now they're seeing your ad on Facebook, and maybe they submit the Facebook form, but actually they kind of came to your website first, but maybe they came to your website because they saw your van drive by. So it starts to become this weird thing. The way that you handle that is you just attribute it to whatever source they came through. So in that convoluted example I just gave, it would be a Facebook ad lead. But at the end of the day, that's what you want to create. You want to create this ecosystem. They're seeing you everywhere, and it's almost like the universe is telling them, hey, this is the painting company to move forward with. It makes your job a lot easier. People need to be touched, 5, 7, 10 times before they're comfortable moving forward. So being everywhere and then having a CRM like EstimateRocket reach out and ping them in a strategic fashion, that stuff is what drives more leads and drives more sales. So we're going to talk about why mastering the ecosystem is essential in 2025, and really how do you connect this stuff, right? So the interconnected strategies for dominating the landscape, because it is so confusing. So understanding the ecosystem, there's SEO, there's social media, there's the content that you're putting out. So content on your website, but also content through other people's websites, through your social media posts, through videos that you might be uploading to YouTube, things of that nature. There are paid ads. How do you actually take advantage of AI, and how do you, almost more importantly, not take advantage of AI right now? Because some companies are getting hurt by doing it the wrong way. What should you be doing offline? And then analytics. All of this stuff, you combine it, you work it together, it essentially becomes this flywheel of growth, because people are seeing you more and more and more. None of the painting companies are typically serving massive areas, right? Even if you're a multi-location company, each location, maybe it's a 15-mile radius, maybe it's a 30-mile radius. It's not an insane radius. These aren't nationwide advertising campaigns you're running. So you can be hyper targeted. You can hit people online, offline, and repeatedly. And that's how you have a very strong brand presence. And it's how you actually enhance the experience for them. Okay, I move fast. So if you haven't heard me speak before, this is pretty par for the course. I move quite quickly. There's a lot happening on the back end right now. So Google trying to keep up with, they have Bard and they have their systems with AI. They're certainly not going to be left behind, but they have been challenged by ChatGPT, and they face some challenges in a way they haven't before. And then needing to actually deal with the kind of influx, almost full scale assault of AI content online. So Google's algorithm, they have been adapting to meet this demand and keep up with this. So they have AI enhanced search intent. So I'm sure many of you have noticed when you go onto Google and you type in a search, it used to just be, the search results and the links, and you'd have those 10 options in the beginning. You'd have the Google business profile at the top if it were a local service-based search, and then you're going to have the 10 options, and that's basically your page one, with maybe some pay-per-click ads at the top. So now we obviously have the local service ads, but what's showing up now, especially when they're questioned, when they're inquiries that are being searched, you're seeing a paragraph, right? And it's essentially AI spitting out the answer to your question, and they're pulling it from all these different links that you can then dive into to further explore whatever it is you're researching. So the concept of SEO is remaining the same, but the dashboard, the skin of it, is switching. So AI enhanced search intent, core web vitals and technical health. We're going to get into how that's becoming even more important, and even what is it. And then local SEO and GBP optimization. This is what it looks like, AI enhanced search intent. So this search is, what is the best time to paint my home exterior in Tampa? That's a good search to show up for. It's an informational query, but it's somebody who's likely looking to hire an exterior painting company in Tampa. So you can see they have an AI overview at the top: in Tampa, Florida, best time to paint your home exterior. And they're going to go in and go explain that. But then you actually see on the right side there, that's where they're pulling this information from. So they have 3 companies listed. My man Russell Peach Painting is the bottom company here being listed. We have 5 Star Painting, we have Cora showing up. And so there's going to be traffic that will come from that search, and it will go to Peach Painting or 5 Star Painting. It's going to go there, right? So they're going to link, and now all of a sudden they're being viewed as a thought leader. You have them on your site, and then you have a site that's built. It's called Built to Convert, so built to get people to take action, to submit the lead form or call the company, and now you're generating leads through searches like this. So the SEO, the fundamental concept of SEO through writing high authority blog articles, high authority content on your site doesn't change, but Google is adapting their dashboard essentially. Core Web Vitals. So there was a leak of, let me see, I actually think I'm going to skip forward to it. Okay. So there was a Google search documentation leak It has never happened before. It was like Christmas for all the marketing agencies because we got to see how Google's algorithm works, which again, we have never ever seen before. So this leak happened last year, and there are over 14,000 different factors that go into where companies rank. And so the SEO is a complicated game. There's a lot of moving pieces. At Painter Marketing Pros, we focus on the top 10 to 20 because those are the ones that move the needle. But some of this stuff that they talked about are linking, our page authority, things of that nature. But we know that what also matters is the technical optimization of your site. So going back into this, it's called Core Web Vitals. So it's how quickly is your website loading and what is the experience of users on your site. So we have largest contentful paint, first input delay, cumulative layout shift. All of this stuff is how quickly is the website loading, particularly what's called above the fold. So when you go to a website, the part that you can see without scrolling down, that's called above the fold. How quickly is the content interactive, and then do things move around? We've all been on websites where you scroll and the button kind of shakes, or you click it and it's sort of weird. It takes a second. That's not a good experience. So how stable are the interactive elements of your website as people are moving around and taking action? Google cares about all this stuff even more than they used to because of this. Because it was that, and it's also content's still critical, but we have so many AI writing tools. Do not just rely on AI writing tools, but I don't want to jump sections, but we have so many AI writing tools essentially flooding the market with AI content. It's very easy now to just sign up for a company and just get tons and tons and tons of it. You can get 1,000 blogs in a day. Obviously, no human being is going to write that, but we can get it. So Google's having to shift some of their focus to even more heavily prioritizing the technical elements of a website. So make sure your website's performing super fast, super well, loading quickly, because that stuff's critical. So as AI content floods the market, it means that a lot of your competitors are going to be using it. A lot of them will be signing up for these tools to create AI content. Google is recognizing that content. There's nothing inherently wrong. Google first said they're going to penalize AI content. So they said they want human written content. Then they went back and said, well, we're actually going to have a lot of AI tools ourselves. So maybe we should reevaluate. And then they said they want helpful content, right? So they want helpful content. What we have found works incredibly well is if you want to use AI in your content, you can use it to create an outline for yourself, and then you can go in and write it by a human, right? So that's the kind of stuff that we'll actually do at Painter Marketing Pros. If you go in and you just use AI to write your content, Google will end up slapping your site down. It will be a really negative thing for you. So Google rolled out these updates last year. Google typically rolls out 2, maybe 3 major updates in a year. Last year, they rolled out 4. So it was a very heavy year for them. Essentially, all of these were targeted at spam, at AI, at fake content, site reputation abuse. So they are saying we have this influx of basically artificial content, of this spam AI stuff, because all AI is doing right now for this content is just pulling from other sources. It's pulling, it's repackaging, and it's spitting it out. It's not creating anything. So it's pulling from the other sources, repackaging, spitting it out. And a lot of times it's pulling from pretty dated sources. So 6 months to a year plus old, and then it's spitting out. So Google's going in and they're actually recognizing, okay, this is all artificially generated content, and they're rolling out updates that are then smacking sites down. So we've seen sites that are getting 1,000, 2,000 plus visitors a month, organic, to now all of a sudden they're getting 0 because they had too much content on their site that was like that. So you have to be very cognizant of, if you're writing content for your site, or if you have an agency writing content, what are they doing to prevent that from happening? Because Google is attacking that aggressively. And if you think about Google's business model, which I think very few people think about this, Google makes money on Google Ads, right? So anytime something is free to you, you are typically the product being sold. So Google is selling you as the eyeballs. So we can go on to Google, we can do a search, we can find a painting company. That's all really great. And it's free. The reason it's free is because we see ads, right? And so Google's going to sell their Google pay-per-click ads. If I search for a painting company, they're going to sell their local service ads, and I might click on those things. And then Google's going to charge the company money. And so that's how they make money. The reason that I go to Google in the first place is because it's a good experience. Google is the search engine that I trust the most. There's DuckDuckGo, there's Yahoo, there's Bing, there are other search engines. I consistently have the best experience with Google because they have the best algorithm, they have the most data. So I'm going to go and I'm going to use them. But if you thought of some extreme example, let's say I go on and every time I look for a painting company, I just see electricians, right? Or when I look for a painting company in the top couple results, I click on it and it takes 10 seconds to load. Like, this is terrible. Or it loads and it's acting janky or weird. Or it loads and the website's fine and I call them and then they are a terrible company. I have a terrible experience. I'm going to start to trust Google less. And if I have enough bad experiences like that, I'm going to go elsewhere. I'm going to look for a competing search engine, or I'm going to find some other way to get the information or the resources that I need. Google is going to lose their user base, and then therefore the Google ads are going to be much less effective, and so they can't monetize the Google ad. So that's Google's business model in terms of the Google ads. It's why it matters. And so it's why they want helpful content. It's why they want a good user experience on your website. It's why they prioritize the reviews of your company. What is your rating? How many reviews do you have? How frequently are you getting those reviews? Because just by showing you at the top, they are implicitly recommending you. And if they make a lot of bad recommendations, they start to slip. So now we can understand Google's business model and why the things that we know matter for SEO, why they do matter, why Google cares. So SEO tips for 2025, again, a technically sound website that loads fast, that functions well, that provides a positive user experience, that makes me happy that I went to your site. A strong local presence, so a lot of customer reviews, a consistent cadence of customer reviews. So it's not just how many do you have? Well, I went on this, we've been operating for 10 years. I've never asked for reviews. I called every single one of my customers over the past 10 years and I just got like 200 reviews. That would be epic, right? But then I don't get any more reviews. I have 200. I'm good. Google will start to really discount that because a review over 3 months old starts to become heavily discounted. So the cadence of reviews, how frequently you continue to generate them, is a very relevant metric. For Google, having accurate business information matters. This is why the hours matter. Like, are you actually open? Is someone actually going to answer the phone when they call? This is why your responsiveness to reviews. This is why your responsiveness to calls through your Google business profile and your local service app. This is why it matters, because it's a user experience you are providing or are not providing. Having correct, this is a little technical, but correctly structured schemas. Some technical stuff on the back end of your website that basically is stuff you code onto the website that when the bot, because it's Google bots, it's little, it's not typically human beings that are actually reviewing this stuff. They do have some manual audits, but it's bots that are going in and you're essentially providing them a map to your website. And so if you help Google, Google helps you. And then having real project photos and videos that showcase your work. Be very careful of using too much stock imagery. Don't use any of it for your Google business profile. If you're using a stock image from Shutterstock or whatever, Google knows that image. They've seen it elsewhere online and they know it's not yours. So something to be aware of and be careful of. Becoming a thought leader. So there's a lot of stuff that I do where I go out and speak. I'm presenting at this, right? We're going to take this, we're going to put it on the website. We're going to create content out of it. I spoke at several events last week. I'm a real human being. So we can take this content, we can put it online, Google can see it, we have Google crawl it, and now we're building authority. So that you can do a similar thing by becoming a thought leader in the painting space, right? Even things like taking photos and videos of your crews and uploading them to your website, uploading them to your social media. That's stuff that is absolutely unique. Google sees it, has never seen it online before. It's likely geotagged by your phone to your service area. So Google sees, okay, it's relevant for Cincinnati or wherever you happen to be based. And ultimately, you're building trust. So Google values its experience, expertise, authority, and trust. Standing out through real experience, so proving you're a real painting expert. So showcasing your actual painting expertise, building trust through customer stories and project photos. Again, those are going to be unique photos. Those are going to be unique content. So even a story, reviews, testimonials, that content is not elsewhere online. Google knows it is yours. Compare that to AI. Google knows it is not yours. Demonstrate authority in your local market. Videos, include videos. People love videos. Google loves videos. So having some stuff like that on your site and in your content, creating reels, putting on social media, that goes a long way with video. It goes a long way with people. So mastering videos for SEO and ads, they are going to become more important. I think they're overinflated at times. I don't think it's absolutely the end all be all, but it absolutely can provide a competitive edge. So videos are real, especially as written content becomes more commoditized through AI. Video, we have deep fake and things like that, but video is more difficult to fake right now. So master videos for SEO and ads, so you can leverage this in paid ads, but also in SEO, taking videos of specific services. So interior painting page, let's say on your website, having a video of your crew performing an interior painting project, and then uploading that to the page and embedding in a YouTube and embedding the link into your website can go a long way with Google. And video is going to be an important component of the future of organic marketing. This also makes you the authority. Again, for anyone who's watched your videos, you start to become a market of one. So you compare that to painting company A, painting company B, painting company C that are all coming out. If people have seen you, they've watched the owner, they've seen videos of the crew, you ideally embed that into some of your messaging through EstimateRocket. They're actually receiving text messages and emails that actually show some of these videos of you and your team performing. The trust factor goes through the roof. Okay, so these are a couple of examples of partners that we work with where we've put some videos into their content, right? So you can see the one on the left, we have crew working. There was the whole reel that we created and put up here. We got this footage from our partner. And then on the right, there's a video testimonial from a happy customer. So anytime you can get a video testimonial, that's huge. It goes a long way. It's somewhat easy to fake written reviews. It is not easy to fake a real homeowner standing in front of their real house talking about the project that you just completed for them. Videos. So when we're talking about SEO, putting videos on your service pages, videos and other parts of your website, it provides additional search visibility opportunity, right? So if we look up here, there's a search on the top left where it says painting your kitchen cabinets. And we can see, okay, there's some results that look fairly standard, but then we actually have a video section. So I'm sure you've all done searches on Google where a video section will pop up and it's a walkthrough, right? So you think, why would I want to kind of walk through how we do it? Because they're not going to do it, right? Especially when you say, hey, here's how my team does it. Here's how we prep the cabinets and sand them down, and here are all the things we do. Now all of a sudden you're spreading this information, your knowledge, you're becoming a thought leader, much in the way that I'm sharing a bunch of information for you guys right now. But most of you aren't going to want to go ahead and do all this and learn all this stuff, right? So you can do the same thing with painting. You can become that thought leader. Ultimately, now they're following your content. They're on your website. Then again, the ecosystem of marketing, you're now retargeting them with ads. So they're seeing you again and again and again. And when they're ready to move forward, you're going to be top of mind for them. Okay, so that was a video. Voice search. So voice search has not been a huge component of the painting industry to date, but it is going to become more important. It is going to become more important, right? And the voice search, it's structured a little bit differently from traditional what's called text-based search. So typing into Google. Most people are using voice search while they're driving or multitasking. Of course, things like Alexa have become far more common, right? So these smart home devices are becoming as common as smartphones. And the difference between a voice search and a text-based search is that voice searches tend to be longer and more conversational. So while if I'm texting, I might say, painter nearby, best painting company. I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida. Might say best painting company, St. Petersburg, best painter, Tampa. A voice-based search is going to be more like a question. Like, hey, who's the best painting company in Tampa? Seems similar. It is similar, but it's also different in terms of that search. So painting company Tampa versus, hey, who's the best painting company in Tampa? Who's the highest rating painting company in Tampa? What's the best painting company to refinish my cabinets in St. Petersburg? So these are the kinds of searches that are going to happen on voice. So you have to structure your content. You have to structure the way that you're actually writing about these keywords. There's a lot of stuff that goes into how to do that. You have to structure to answer these longer, more conversational inquiries, because that's the difference between voice search. If you're writing content the way you should be writing it, quite honestly, this takes care of itself. If you're leveraging AI, overly leveraging it, if you're doing things that are called like keyword stuffing, that hasn't worked in a very long time, but if you're trying to do things like that or working with an agency that does stuff like that, it will not help you with voice search, right? So next customer might be asking Alexa or Siri, hey, who's the best painter for my home in Portland, right? Or find a painter who can color match historical paint colors. Or what painting company near me has the best reviews? A question like that would be a very frequently asked one related to reviews. So how we help you prepare for this is we structure your website the way we actually create the website, interlink it, and actually write the content to answer these natural questions. So there's stuff how you actually build this stuff to answer the questions, so that Siri, so that Alexa, so these smart home devices naturally will pull it. You make their life easier. You've written the data in such a way that they can grab it from you and then spit it out. We ensure your business shows up for neighborhood specific searches, those hyper local searches. Those are key for painting SEO. We optimize for the near me searches in your service area. That near me is even more critical with the voice. It's already critical with the text-based search. And then we make sure voice assistants can easily find and understand your business information. Again, we're catering to almost two different avatars here, right? So we have the robot world. That's the initial world. That's the SEO. That's the Google. That's the Alexa. We have to cater to that world. And then we have to cater to the actual end user, which is the homeowner, or the commercial property owner, the property manager, right? So we take all that into account. When you're creating your content, you need to factor all of that in. You have multiple stakeholders. Local service ads. So I don't think there's interactivity in the webinar, so I can't ask how many people are running LSAs, but I will tell you, if you're not running local service ads, or if you've run them and you said, man, we got a lot of smaller projects and just wasn't that great, or, well, we used to get a lot of leads from LSA, now we don't get that many. That means you probably weren't handling the leads correctly, or you're not consistently generating reviews or taking other actions that you need to be taking, and it got more competitive because more and more painting companies are adopting LSA, and they went from showing 3 companies at the top to now showing 2. So there are a lot of changes happening there, but I will tell you that this is the future of Google local search. So if you're not running Google local service ads, I'm telling you right now, this is the future of Google local search. So you must run Google local service ads, because you must start to build a history for your painting company there. There are something called brand name searches. A brand name search would be, if my company is ABC Painting Company and somebody searches ABC Painting Company. So they are looking for me, right? They're not looking for any kind of painter. They're looking for me. They're searching the name of my business. It used to be optional whether or not you wanted to essentially bid on that, right? Whether or not you wanted to show up for LSA for that. They are actually taking that away, and they are making it mandatory, because they are moving more and more and more toward the paid aspect. Right now, if you search ABC Painting Company and there's the name of a painting company like that, you will show up in the Google business profile, assuming, unless what you're doing is just terrible, because it's the name of your company. So you're going to show up in the Google business profile. You're going to show up below that in the organic results, which is great for you. It's not that great for Google, because then people will click on it. The only thing that's good for Google is it provided a good user experience. It gave people what they were looking for. But Google didn't make any money. They go in, they search, they click on you in Google business profile, or the organic result below that, but Google doesn't get paid. Now, when they make you show up in the local service ads at the top, Google gets paid. So Google is going to continue to move to a pay-to-play platform so that they can monetize more of the search volume. So verified Google business profiles are now required for the LSAs. And they are combining, along that same line of thought, they are combining the Google business profile and the local service ad reviews. They used to be separate. There was an LSA app that was separate. The Google business profile and the LSA are becoming more and more tightly merged, because, again, Google business profile doesn't pay Google. Local service ads do pay Google. So I believe over time, the Google business profile is going to decline in importance, and the local service ad component is going to increase in importance. But they are inextricably linked. So right now you need to be treating them both with the utmost respect. That is how you are going to win long-term. Brand name searches. So they are now showing up. Opt-out will no longer be possible soon. So running LSAs, you'll have to essentially pay for people to find your own company. That, I wish that weren't the case, but it's for us, it gives us information into what Google's planning and where they're going. Charges right now apply only to leads from new customers. And right now, only your LSAs will display in these cases. So they're actually going to take away the other links. So take away the Google business profile link and just show your LSA, and essentially require you to pay. This comes back to pricing. This comes back to a tight sales process. This comes back to using a CRM like EstimateRocket, because the payment, it just always gets higher. The leads always become more expensive. That's how this stuff works. Google pay-per-click used to be dirt cheap. Now, if you're running a traditional Google ad, you might be paying $200-$300+ per lead. You used to pay like $10 for it. So this stuff happens. So as you're kind of planning out your 2025 and beyond, make sure you're factoring in, hey, I need to make sure I'm having sufficient profit margin on my products. I need to make sure I actually have a legitimate marketing budget for my business that I can afford to invest in. And then combining the reviews. So Google is going to be merging those reviews, LSA and Google Business Profile, and having a unified review management via the Google Business Profile. So that's how you get those reviews, is you just use the link from your Google Business Profile, and that's going to apply to both your local service ad profile and your Google Business Profile. Yeah. All right, let me see where we're at in time. Okay, looking good, flying. Uh, Facebook ads, we're meta ads, Facebook ads. So I call these meta ads because we're going to run them through Facebook and Instagram. So you want to establish trust, and people do business with people. There's a very big difference between repeat and referral clients. So people who have done business with you, or they got referred by their friend or family member or neighbor. Those people have a very high level of trust. The actual sales component, it's always critical, but it's less so because you're given a lot of grace, because you did it for my neighbor and it looks great. So if you come in and you kind of bumble through the sales process, yeah, it's almost your sale to lose at that point. Or if you've done business with them before, they already know you, you didn't steal from them, and the project was completed on time and it looked good. So it's much less risky to hire you than a new company. So again, it's kind of yours to lose. Then there's moving to organic. So people searching on Google, seeing the top rated companies, that would be the next level of trust. So they haven't necessarily used you. They don't necessarily know anyone who's used you, but Google says you're good because Google put you at the top. Oh, you have a fair amount of good reviews. So other people seem to think that you're good. Your website provides a good experience. This seems professional. I'm pretty trusting of this company. I am a good prospect. I am a good potential client because I'm taking my time to do my homework. And if I'm mid to high wealth, which a lot of us are targeting, and I'm investing what is a very important asset of mine, which is my time. I'm investing my time into doing my homework. There's a very good chance I'm also willing to invest my capital into hiring the right business, right? So I'm a good prospect, and you seem like a good painting company, so we have a good opportunity here. The sales process is more important because I don't know you, and I don't know anyone who knows you. So the trust is there, but it's less so. Now we go to something like Facebook ads. I am not doing my homework. I am not sitting there investing my time to find you. You actually came out and you found me. So you ran an ad, you did the targeting that you did, you created the creative, and you went and you found me. I was just probably frankly wasting time. I think most social media usage is a waste of time. So I'm looking at friends, family, whatever. Maybe I'm looking at reels, whatever it is I'm doing. And then boom, your ad pops up. You catch my eye. Like, that looks like a pretty interesting company. Okay, I'm bought in. I'm bought in enough to give you my information. So I'm gonna give you my information. I'm a colder lead. I am definitely not a repeat referral. I'm not a Google. Now I'm an interruption advertising Facebook lead. That means your sales process, your speed to lead, the CRM usage you employ through EstimateRocket, what you're doing becomes far more critical. And there are things that you can do to help this relationship early on. So you want to establish trust, as it says here. You do that through showing the owner, through showing the crew, through showing some of your projects, through highlighting testimonials, reviews, video testimonials from clients. And then you do that by being personable. So people do business with people. People do not like to do business with generic companies. Nobody likes that, especially not when you're inviting a company into your home. You want to feel like there's some kind of a connection there. So here are some examples of ads that we've run that have performed really well. You can see that these are very personal ads, right? So we have families, kids, outdoor activities. Outdoor does really well. And what I actually want to draw you guys' eyes to, if you look down at Emerson Paints, again, remember Daniel has gone from 270,000 to over 1 million, to now we're targeting 3 million, and we're in conversations to go well beyond that. You can see he has 257 reactions. So like a like or a heart, 257 to an advertisement. That is insane. He has 87 comments. So essentially this ad has basically gone viral, right? So we have so many comments, so many likes. We'll have shares, we'll have things like that. And what does that tell Facebook? That tells Facebook, hey, people are resonating with this ad. This ad is providing a positive user experience. If we remember the Google business model that I walked through, Facebook's business model is very similar. It's free to use Facebook. I can log in, I can make my profile, I can look at my friends and family and what everyone's doing. I can distract myself, probably spend too much time on it. And Facebook doesn't even charge me. All that stuff's free, man. That's awesome. Facebook, it's not free for Facebook. They're paying a tremendous amount of money. developers and hosting and everything else that they need to pay for to make that work. Well, they're paying for that because then they're going to run ads. And then the advertisers are going to pay for it. The reason the advertisers are willing to pay for it is because it works. The reason it works is because people like me go on and use it because it's free. So, but if I see a bunch of ads that are annoying to me, every time I go on Facebook, all I see is ads. Man, I don't even like that. Why do they show me this ad? Well, now I'm having a negative experience. And if I have enough negative experiences, I'll be like, I don't use Facebook anymore. I used to use it. It got really annoying. I just stopped using it. I don't know. I don't log in anymore. So now Facebook's ads are less effective. They can sell less ads, and now their businesses decline, right? So when you have an advertising campaign that a ton of people are commenting on, that a ton of people are hearting or liking or sharing or whatever it is that they're doing, that tells Facebook, hey, positive user experience. You should reward this ad. You should actually increase the quality score of the ad. So some back-end stuff. You should increase the quality score of the ad, meaning you should show it to more people for the same cost as another ad that is not getting that same level of interaction because people like this ad more. So we should show it more. So now if you're investing 1,000 and your ad is getting all this reaction, and another company is investing 1,000, they're not getting any reaction, you're going to be seen by a lot more people. If you're seen by a lot more people, you have a lower cost per lead. Plus, when those other people see you and they're seeing all this commentary, they're seeing all these reactions, I'm more bought in. If I see an ad with 0 comment, 0 heart, 0 anything, I'm thinking either nobody cares or maybe they just had negative comments and they just like went in and deleted it. I don't know, but there's not a lot of trust there. When I see one with 87 comments over here, 257 hearts and likes, I mean, that's pretty trustworthy. I'm going to click, I'm going to see the comments, and those comments are all going to be testimonial stuff, right? So if there are any negative comments, our team, when we're running ads, we actually go in and hide them. So sometimes those negatives are usually not from past clients. They're usually from ex-employees. Ex-employees are people who applied for a job and didn't get the job, sometimes just from a troll, like, oh, this is stupid. Don't pay this company. You should just paint it yourself. Just people who just randomly put comments. We actually will go in and hide those because they have been proven to hurt ad results, and you don't want to delete them because if you delete them, then the troll might go back and check and see it's deleted and just keep leaving more comments. When you hide it, that obnoxious person goes in and they still think it's there. Yeah, cool. My comment, man, I really got them. But no one else in the world sees it. So it's a little hack for you guys. So we go in and hide them. And then our team actually goes in and replies to every single comment, right? So when somebody leaves a comment and then you reply to that comment, now you've 2x'd the number of comments. And then a lot of times they'll reply to your comment. So now you're 2x plussing the number of comments. Again, more proof, more social proof for people looking at the ad. They also see that you care. Because if people are going to bat for you saying, I use this company, they're great, you know, they painted my deck, like, and then you just don't respond to any of them, it kind of looks like you don't care. So it shows that you care, and it also shows the Facebook algorithm, look, more and more and more and more comments. So you create this flywheel effect. So anyways, whole lot there. Establish trust, make it personal. You can see a lot. We have 645 reactions here, 196 comments, 117 shares. That's absurd for a paid advertisement. Who does that? Right? But when you can get ads take off like that, man, it's awesome. So maximizing meta in 2025, meta is stronger in residential than in commercial. It can work in commercial. We make it work in commercial, but it's definitely stronger in residential. Remarket. So make sure website visitors, things like that, people that are finding you elsewhere, make sure you're doing some retargeting ads to them. They're already hot prospects. And then interest demographics, other things can be used on the back end to make sure you're targeting the right audiences with meta. A lot of times calling out your avatar, hey, Austin homeowners, hey, Tampa Bay commercial property owners, hey, property managers, calling them out at the very beginning. It seems simple, but it's like, oh, now I should tune in. For me, if I see an ad, hey, marketing agency owner, like, hey, entrepreneur business owner, I'm going to tune a little more in because I know this might be applicable to me. They just called me out. What do you have? Incentives and offers. So we don't like to run discounts at Painter Marketing Pros. We very rarely do it. We did run some in Q4 2024 because we saw the cost per lead going up across the board. So if the cost per lead goes up across the board, if all of your competitors are doing it, you can entertain it. Just be cognizant of the kind of clientele that it can draw in, the kind of lead you can create when you do something like that, because you're offering them money off. So you're baiting people with money off. So there are people who usually want money off, right? So then it comes down to a sales process and having a really tight sales process. But you can run seasonal holiday discounts. And then when you are running a discount, don't just say, hey, 15% off. You have to put some level of scarcity, some level of urgency, Could be time-based. Hey, 15% off if you book now until February 28th, right? It could be scarcity based. Hey, for we have some availability opened up in our schedule. We're offering 20% off for the next 5 booked projects. Right now, I think, well, if I see that and I do want a booked project, I might want to move forward on it because otherwise there's a good chance I'm going to miss that opportunity. So you're forcing me to take action, whereas otherwise I might just pause. If you've tried Facebook ads, you're convinced they don't work. So we've done it again for hundreds of companies. So we prove otherwise. You need an excellent ad system. So how you're actually running these ads with a very tight sales process. So success here requires both. You can see again a higher Q4 2024. I'm sure many of you can relate, was a tougher time for the painting industry. We still found a lot of wins. So we have a partner at the top there in Q4, 98 leads at $36 a lead. That's a really attractive cost per lead. And then 115 leads at the bottom at $38 a lead. Our average set rate, so a lead comes in, they fill out the form. We tend to run 4 messenger ads. So our average set rate is 60%. So that means if 10 leads come through, 6 of them are going to be an estimate, and then the close rate can vary, but we're typically seeing around 40%. So you got to do that math when you're thinking, okay, what revenue do I want? What marketing budget do I need? What's my average ticket value of my project? You have to run through all this when you're deciding how to run your marketing for 2025. Some key components of the sales. So speed to lead, be in touch with that lead in under 60 seconds. CRMs like EstimateRocket, that's how you do that. So there's no way for a human being to just do that every single time. You have to employ technology to make that happen. Provide a world-class experience. People are buying the experience. They're buying the peace of mind. They're not really buying the paint project. Not really. They could paint this themselves if the only thing they cared about was the painting. Business hours, ideally have 24/7 business hours through a call center, right? So we always recommend having a call center because you want to be there when people are ready to move forward. A lot of times on the weekends, especially Sunday mornings, we find, and then in the evenings, people will be doing homework. They're typically working during the week. So if you're only open 9 to 5, 9 to 6, then every evening, every weekend, when people might actually be exploring home improvement options, it's helpful if they can call you and get someone on the phone. Offline activities, so some offline channels, personal networking, door knocking, cold calling. So a lot of these sweat equity, professional referral, so real estate agents, things of that nature, door hangers, wrap vehicles, doing all this stuff. So again, it's not, hey, what do you do? I only do this one channel. Do all this stuff. And when you're running ads and when you're doing SEO and then you do this other stuff, it makes your ads and it makes your SEO do better because the stuff, again, it works in tandem. So when you start creating this ecosystem of marketing, it all actually does better. Database reactivation. I am trying to find a better way to say this. There's unlocking hidden profit in your business. There's various ways to phrase this. It's such a marketing term, database reactivation. It sounds ridiculous, but what it is it's reviving dormant leads in your list. It's taking people who have expressed interest in your business. They either filled out a web form or called you or filled out a Facebook lead form, or you met them at a home show and you got their information. Whatever it is, you have this list of people. Some have done business with you, some have not done business with you. Running a campaign, as in not just one email, not just one text, but a fully structured campaign over a period of say 1.5 weeks. That's how long we like to do it, over 2 weeks, can drive a tremendous amount of business, and it's free. It's essentially free, right? So what we do with our partners is we'll run this every quarter, and we'll typically build out anywhere between 4 and 6 emails and 2 and 4 text messages. We'll build it on top of each other. So it's not just random messaging. It's structured in a campaign, right? So messages are going to build on top of each other. They're going to drip out over a period of 1.5 to 2 weeks, and we're shaking the tree. So we have these leads, we have these people. We are not top of mind. They're not thinking about us every day, but we're shaking the tree. We're creating some sort of sense of urgency. We have some kind of offer or compelling reason for them to take action. We're going to look for repeat business, and we're going to look for referral business. And if you guys set this up and you run it every quarter, especially in slower times of year, like Q4, Q1, you can drive a lot of leads. So it's really good. Here's an example of just an email that we ran, again, as part of a campaign with, I think, 7 touch points. So we do this. For our partners, this was what the timeline looked like for it in Q4. So we re-engaged previous leads. We had a Thanksgiving email blast, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we had 7 touch points on this one. And then finally, measure what matters. So This is right here, scrolling on the right. This is a software called Agency Analytics that we use. It pulls data from Facebook. It pulls data from Google Local Service Ads, from Google Business Profile, from your website. So whether leads coming from Google Organic, so SEO, whether they're coming from social media and actually linking to your website, whether they're typing your URL directly into the web browser and going there. It pulls all of this stuff and it puts it here, and then it reports it to our partners. So if you're working, so they can see right here their cost per lead, 77 leads at $37 a lead. They can see the Facebook posting that we're doing. They can see how many people are seeing their Facebook page. They can see all the Instagram posting we're doing and the visibility there. They can see local service ads got 12 leads at $33 a lead. Up here, they can see how many leads they're getting from Google Organic, from Google Business Profile, what searches their website is showing up for. So if you don't have access to this level of data and you're working with a marketing agency, consider reaching out to us, because you should have access to your data. You should know what's going on. And if you're running your own stuff, make sure you have this kind of data. You don't have to use that dashboard, but you should have somewhere you're pulling it all in so you can actually evaluate your cost per lead via various channel and adjust as needed. So for us, we iterate for better results. We do monthly performance reviews and then constantly adjusting strategies based on those insights. Okay, and then I believe our final section here is the role of AI. Right now in marketing, AI is the hot topic. It is the future. It absolutely is the future. So I am in no way going to discredit that. But some of it is overly hyped right now based on where it's at. So the current capabilities, it basically is building on the large language models. Some major advances have happened. So with the large language models in 2024, they're setting the new standards in what's possible. The biggest achievement, and this starts to kind of geek out a little bit, but working with multiple formats at once. That was not something it could do. It couldn't take text, image, voice. It couldn't do all these things, video, and actually work with all those inputs at one time. Now it can. That's a big deal. It's a huge technical advance that is propelling AI forward. So new systems are combining these large language models with the advanced voice tech. Some leading platforms that we see, Bland, AB, Play, HT, and the voice quality is now approaching human-like clarity. A lot of you, I'm sure, have heard demos and AI basically acting as an appointment setter, as a customer service representative at your company. Most of them are, in my opinion, quite poor. You can tell it's AI, but there are some technologies out there where you actually can't even tell. So that's happening. It's a thing where the AI is you have a person and you have AI and you're listening to the recording and you don't know which one is AI. So I listened to one for 10 minutes and I guessed the wrong thing. So that's how good some of this is. So the business applications are in action. That can happen right now is AI handling complete phone conversations, managing appointment scheduling, and providing detailed customer support. Again, a lot of the AI that I hear, a lot of the softwares that are out there, the third-party softwares, I wouldn't use them because it just doesn't sound good enough to me, but it is there. The tech is actually there, and it will become more and more available. OpenAI Sora is a major breakthrough. So this thing can create realistic videos from text descriptions. So check that out, Sora, if you haven't. It's neat. It's early stage, impressive results. This opens new opportunities. Again, right now, video, especially your face and everything, video is a distinct differentiator because it's behind some of the other stuff. But there are a lot of advances being made there, and we expect a lot to be made throughout the year. The next phase of this whole game, this whole AI revolution, is moving into specialized AI systems. So moving from single purpose to multi-purpose AI, where multiple AI agents could, for example, one handles customer calls, another processes project videos, a third's generating estimates and plans. And you almost have this whole team of AI. So as opposed to, well, AI does this one thing for me, or I leverage AI to create this piece, you have AI working together and almost managing the whole project pipeline. So it's going to get pretty wild. So AI is definitely here, and it's going to continue to advance at a really, really rapid rate. The technical advantages, I think, are fairly clear. So fully autonomous task completion, higher accuracy. People make mistakes. AI actually does kind of freak out sometimes. It does make mistakes, but a lot fewer than people do. And seamless integration with existing systems. And we're moving toward a better service delivery, faster response times, and ultimately more consistent quality. What I am comfortable recommending right now that you use AI for would be, for example, drafting initial customer emails and proposals, but then a human has to review it. You would not send Automated responses, send out proposals without reviewing it. You would not want to do that yet. Creating templates for common customer questions. You can feed questions. You can say, hey, here are all the emails that we've had. Create some templates here, but don't have it actually directly handle the issue with the customer. Not yet. It might send out something that you don't want it to send. Helping brainstorm blog and social media content ideas. Do not, for the love of God, have it create fake reviews or testimonials. It's just not a good idea. It's unethical, number one. It's also going to backfire on you, number two. You can have it assist in drafting some marketing materials, but don't use AI generated images, for example, as portfolio work. We've seen some companies try to do that. It's just the wrong thing to do. Google knows it's an AI image, so you're also going to get smacked down by Google if you start putting stuff like that on your website or your Google business profile. And then if you actually look close, a lot of times you can find inconsistencies in those images. So numbers will be messed up. A lot of stuff will be messed up. So then you're really hurting your trust if people realize you're using fake images. You can use it to generate initial website content drafts. Do not just roll out a ton of AI content. Don't spin up hundreds of pages and call it SEO. There are agencies that do that. Those agencies are bad. And then you can use it to brainstorm ad and creative ideas. Don't let it just run your paid ads. So the whole theme here is leverage it as an assistant to you. Leverage it for ideas, leverage it for outlines, leverage it for stuff like that. Do not let it just run wild. So next steps, prioritize your platforms as you're planning your marketing in 2025. As you're setting your goals, prioritize your platforms based on ROI. Know your ROI, know your data, set up the right tracking, allocate your resources effectively. Stay ahead by embracing the emerging trends like AI. Don't shun it because it is here and it's not leaving. Multi-platform strategies and dynamic content. Build an interconnected ecosystem, that marketing ecosystem that hits from all angles, where all marketing efforts work together seamlessly for maximum impact. Leverage analytics to track your performance. You must have analytics. You must know your data. Refine strategies and make data-backed decisions. Create personalized experiences through tools like EstimateRocket, targeted campaigns, engaging content, and then make a consistent presence across your platforms and revisit your strategies regularly to sustain long-term success. My offer to you guys today, if you move forward with us, you can go to pmp2025.com and we will actually launch a reactivation campaign for you right from the start of us working together. So this, we typically charge $600 if it's not one of our standard rollouts, but we will roll it out for you right from the beginning to leverage your list and ultimately start 2025 off with a whole slew of free leads and position you for the best year yet. Tom, that is what I have.
That's a handful, Brandon. As about as informative as you can get for sure. And if everybody's listening, I'm sure one of the questions, and if anybody has questions, now's the time. Well, you've got Brandon here. You really summed things up excellently, and your coverage on the various areas, I think, is spot on. I think one of the questions our audience today is going to have is, we do have customers that are not just painters. We have customers that do concrete repair and do foundation repair and a variety of other trades. Although we do certainly have a lot of painters, which I'm sure be very interested. But I think, again, you're right on the mark. Are you working with any other trades, or is it you 100% focused on painters, or were you interested in dabbling in other trades? Because it sounds like you really have an excellent program put together.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Tom. So right now we are focused on painters. So
Okay.
we've had, but it is on the roadmap for us. So I
Okay.
think roofing, concrete
Yeah.
coating is a natural next step. Siding,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of stuff that would fit very well into our program.
Sure. But and with that said, though, I think everything you spoke about today is applicable to all or most trades that are in, most of the trades that we work with, where they're fundamentally home services, and I think most of the same rules would apply in general. So
Absolutely.
everything you heard today is definitely useful and spot on. It's a matter of finding the team to help you apply it, because that's really, we've been through the EstimateRocket goes through the same things that you guys do for that, obviously. And it's really difficult finding someone who understands, what you're trying to accomplish and your market, and delivers results that actually work and are trackable and accountable, because there are a lot of people out there who will uh, marketing companies out there who will show you all the vanity metrics, and they won't show you the important ones, like what's my cost per lead and how many you get me.
Are there marketing companies that'll do that?
Yeah, yeah,
I thought they're all
abundance of
fully
them,
above board.
unfortunately.
Oh,
It's sad. If anybody does have any questions, like I said, now's the time. I know, this is a topic that I think not everybody feels comfortable with, because it's a mystery topic if you're not in that business, and I think it's really hard to grasp in a lot of ways, and all of the different pieces that go into it uh, make it a real complex thing, as complex as any of the trades, if not more complex than them, to really grasp the whole thing.
And I just want to say the reason why we chose Brandon to come on this event is because he is not only professional, but kind and considerate. And he will customize a program for you to suit your budget. He's not just going to say, okay, I'm going to have you spend all this money and then we'll see what happens. It's, well, what's in your budget and how can we do this? And I really appreciate that kind of approach. We've known Brandon for a while now, and it's just great working with you. And, if anyone wants to work with him directly, they can also direct message me and I will get the two of you in contact.
I appreciate it.
We appreciate you too.
Thanks for having me. This has been great.
Absolutely. Well, I will say I'm not seeing any questions, which probably is.
I don't know if that's a
Kind
good
of
thing or a
on
bad thing.
overload.
My mind's blown.
I don't know what to make of that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's
But they
hard.
can always
Again,
they can always email it over if they think about it later.
yeah, absolutely. Yep. All right.
All right.
That was absolutely outstanding, and really thank you for being here and sharing. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Thanks, Brandon. Take care.